This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
We want to welcome you into here to the news at noon. I'm Lauren Casey with Todd Clausen. The snow seems to be ending mostly around the area, but those temperatures are falling, and that could be the cause of a lot of problems. You
know, that's going to be the big headline going forward, are these temperatures that are really going to drop very, very quickly this afternoon. Behind us, you see the snow on the ground in Greencastle. A couple inches fell there and across central Indiana. The higher snowfall totals, obviously, to the north, as we mentioned, anywhere from about 3 to 4 inches on average. Of course, it decreased quickly as you work to the south, just over an inch at the airport in Indianapolis, then next to nothing in southern locales. Storm Team 6 radar finally getting a break from whether it was rain or snow in your neighborhood, and we're just dealing with a few flurries in and around the metro area right now. And to the north, there's a little more in the way of snow shower activity. The one thing we will keep an eye on, as this colder air comes rushing in and we change our wind direction, there could be a pretty good lake effect snow band that sets up here in northwest Indiana that could put down some decent totals on a very small scale, though. Just really pointing that out in case you travel up Interstate 65. You may be running into that later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. 34 right now in Columbus, 32 in Indianapolis, but here's the edge of the Arctic air. 24 in Lafayette, down to 15 right now in Chicago, -4 in Des Moines. So throughout the afternoon hours, our temperatures will fall into the 20s by 3, 4 o'clock, and eventually the teens by the time we get to 9 p.m. this evening. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, we are in the single digits and even below 0 in some locations. More on that, and I'll get to your weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And as you mentioned, the precipitation may be coming to an end, and we do have those falling temperatures. So crews are going to be out there to make sure that the roads are free of ice and snow. The Department of Public Works here in Indianapolis has all the trucks out on the roads right now. The city says they'll continue to clear roads through at least the Friday evening commute. INDOT also continues to work to keep the interstates and state highways clear. Just use caution as you're heading out there. This midday, police have not released the identity of a man who was shot and killed at the same apartment complex where 4 homicides happened last week. The 27-year-old man died after a shooting last night at the Carriage House East Apartments on 42nd Street and Midhofer Road. We talked to a neighbor who says he saw the victim on the ground and did what he could to save his life.
It's hard to see stuff like that. You know, I walk up, this man's laying in the street bleeding. I had to do what I had to do to basically stop his bleeding and save his life. And I shouldn't have to do that, you know what I mean? I just hope all these people that say they want to help do something.
Well, police say that last night's shooting was not related to that quadruple homicide from last week. Today is the day IMPD detectives are staffing a special tip hotline for information on those 4 homicides, as well as the murder of an employee at a Subway restaurant on the northeast side. Detectives are also on standby to answer calls directly from you. The homicide office number is 317-327-3475, and at any time, you can always call Crime Stoppers anonymously. That number is 317-262-TIPS. Today marks 3 years since 2 girls from Delphi were reported missing. Their bodies would be found the next day. It's a solemn day for the families of Abby Williams and Libby German. The girls were on a walk along the Old Monon High Bridge back on February 13th, 2017, when a man approached them. Libby was able to use her cell phone to videotape the person considered to be a prime suspect in the case. At this point, no arrest has been made. Our Rafael Sanchez sat down with the families of Abby Williams and Libby German last week. Libby was known for saying in a minute when asked to do her homework or pick up her clothes. Libby's grandmother is still surprised by the number of people who tell her that they've never heard about this case. So today, Becky Patty is asking that instead of just posting pictures online, that you take a minute to share this story and the pictures with someone who's unaware of Abby and Libby.
So that's why we've asked everybody to give her that other minute.
Do it now before something horrific happens again.
To close your eyes and listen to that voice. To look at this stuff, to think. This guy put behind bars so he can't hurt anybody else.
You could put a stop to this.
If you can stop him. There's never going to be true justice for us because you can't bring the girls back.
You could bring closure to this portion of the case.
For the second straight year, the families are hosting a Remembering Abby and Libby food drive in Delphi. Today, boxes of donated food and pet food will be collected at the Delphi United Methodist Church. Items will be distributed to local pantries in honor of the two girls. That food drive will run from 5 to 7 p.m. The family is asking that other ways you can remember the girls are by hugging a child, displaying purple and teal ribbons, and by showing kindness. New this midday, the city is launching a new program with the goal of increasing the number of businesses owned by people of color and women who do work for the city. This morning, Mayor Joe Hogsett and others announced the launch of the GAP program. It will provide low interest or no interest loans to businesses owned by minorities or military vets to help more of them bid for and win contracts with the city and county government.
Indianapolis is such a prosperous city, and yet in too many instances that prosperity is not shared equally across all communities.
The new program will be run through the city's Office of Minority and Women Business Development.
It is a long-stemmed aphrodisiac. It inspires love, and poet John Boyle Riley says it whispers of passion.
Well, if you're looking for a last-minute rose for your sweetheart and you see what it looks like on a deal online, we're going to show you why that purchase of petals may not be the best idea. Todd.
All right, as you walk out the door this afternoon, the temperatures will be tumbling. We've already hit our high for the day today as we get a brief shot of Arctic air that is going to be coming in for your Valentine's Day. We'll talk about that and look ahead as well. Coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast, you're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
American Idol this Sunday on ABC.
Time now for an RTV6 Consumer Alert. Joining me in studio today is Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau in honor of Valentine's Day. We know a lot of people are looking to buy their sweetheart a bouquet of flowers, but they need to watch out for some scams.
Yeah, this is for everybody who waited to the last minute and you're saying, oh my gosh, I got to get some flowers.
Yeah.
So you go on the internet and you see this great deal.
Wow,
and it doesn't cost you any more. They're going to be delivered on time. Hey, no big penalty here for waiting for the last minute.
Yeah.
Don't fall for that.
Okay.
A lot of these are scams. A couple things happen. Number one, the flowers may never get delivered. Number two, they're going to be delivered late. You're not going to get them on Valentine's Day. Or they're going to maybe try to then call you back and upsell you something or put an extra charge on there. So bottom line here is if you wait to the last minute, you're probably going to have to pay a premium to get the flowers there on time. That's just the way it is. So number one, you really want to research who you're doing business with, the seller, those types of things. Make certain they're a legitimate florist. Know all their business policies and rules to make certain that, if it isn't delivered on time, are you going to get some sort of refund or are they going to make that good somehow? Understand, once again, the delivery timelines, and then always pay with your credit card.
Yeah.
That gives you the most protection. But once again, if you wait to the last minute, you're probably going to have to pay the premium to get them there on time.
Right.
So, there's no free lunch here, so to speak.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. This has been an RTV6 Consumer Alert.
You can't sit with us.
Well, the Mean Girls are coming, and that's not all. Coming up, the big show's on their way as Broadway makes its way to Indy. And let's take a look outside right now. What else is happening in Indy? This is a look from our IMS Pagoda camera. You can see we still have some yucky weather out there. Todd Klossman is going to break down our full forecast for the rest of the day and look ahead to the rest of the week into the weekend. That's coming up after the break. Stick around.
Just $6.99. See you at Denny's.
Welcome back. He's the current leader in delegates in the race for the White House on the Democratic side. But while former mayor of South Bend gets applause from his supporters while he's campaigning, Pete Buttigieg is not getting many cheers for a dance move he recently tried out while talking to voters. Jeannie Mose has a look at why Mayor Pete is going viral.
For a presidential frontrunner, getting critiqued on your dance moves is a rite of passage, especially if you don't pass. Pete Buttigieg tried to raise the roof and ended up raising eyebrows. That roof is going to collapse. His movements were compared to a robot's, to the stars of The Office.
My hump my home, my lovely lady love. Check it out.
Mayor Pete's roof-raising partner has made this her signature move. After she did it at last year's State of the Union, Congresswoman Annie Custer was spoofed on SNL.
Annie raised the roof Custer.
Raise the roof and break that glass ceiling.
Now she's outperforming Pete. And check out the Elizabeth Warren supporter with her sign trying to butt into Buttigieg's shot. No one expected the candidate to actually raise the roof. Dancing is always hazardous to a politician's pride. But you're a stick in the mud if you don't groove to the music.
Wow, she is really rocking a every chaperone at the 8th grade dance vibe.
Instead of raising the roof, Mayor Pete raised a lot of questions. For instance, what does it really look like he's doing? This is a stick-up.
You're raising the roof, Pete. You aren't being held up at gunpoint.
This is me when I'm not sure if I remembered to put deodorant on.
I think the less people see me dancing, the better.
He's so adorkable, tweeted one fan. If you're trying to win the dork demo, maybe it pays to shake your... Jeannie Mo, CNN.
Booty's rocking everywhere, rocking everywhere.
Rocking everywhere.
New York.
All right, back here at home, we want to take a live look outside right now from our IMS Pagoda camera. Todd, you can still see some snow out there, but it's kind of a crazy day.
You know, we had the snow showers yesterday. We had that mix, and the focus now is on these falling temperatures. So if you have a little slush on your sidewalk yet, or on your driveway, move it out pretty quickly here because it will be hard and frozen as a rock as we go throughout the course of the next 24 hours. Here are your snowfall totals as predicted. Some higher totals up to the north, about 5 inches of Kokomo as well as Elwood. As soon as you started coming south, those numbers dropped off. 3-inch total up there in Monticello, so that heavier band set up in really just south of Monticello through the Kokomo area. Indianapolis, 1.6 inches, just a trace once you went south of I-70 in Franklin. Bloomington, it was mainly just plain old rain. Storm Team 6 radar, nice and quiet right now across the area with the exception of a few flurries and some patchy drizzle here and there in and around the metro area, but that should shut off pretty quickly throughout the afternoon hours as this cold front continues to work its way through the area. The one thing we'll keep an eye on, though, is as this wind starts to change direction, you can already see it starting to happen. We may set up just a few lake effect snow bands later on this evening in northern locations, and you do see TrueCast puts one right along Interstate 65. Of course, this snow band's probably nothing more than 5-10 miles wide, but if it does hit 65, could cause lots of issues if there's travel in your plans today up towards Lafayette and then beyond towards Chicago. So just want to point that out. It's not a widespread issue for us here across central Indiana, more of an isolated thing. What is widespread, though, is going to be the tumbling temperatures. Notice the spread right now, 34 in Muncie, 31 in Indy, 33 in Bloomington, but here comes the Arctic air, 27 Greencastle, 24 in Lafayette. Chicago right now is at 15, 10 in Peoria, and then you're sub-zero with a good snowpack on the ground currently in Des Moines. And our temperatures will really start to fall off pretty quickly throughout the remainder of the day. We'll be in the 20s through mid-afternoon, and then by this evening, we should hit the teens around 9 o'clock this evening, and then 16 by 11 p.m. You factor in the wind, which is going to pick up, and look at these wind chill values. This is your real feel temperature throughout the overnight hours. It will feel below zero. As you walk out the door tomorrow morning, wind chills are likely going to be right around -5 degrees in the city with an actual temperature of 5 degrees for your overnight low. But where there's more snow on the ground, I do think your temperatures will have the potential to get below zero overnight. Those are actual temperatures. Wind chills to the north tomorrow morning could be as cold as about -10 to -15 degrees. The good news for your Valentine's Day, it's a brighter day. We get the sunshine back. The bad news is we're not really going to warm much at all, only up to 18 degrees for your high temperature. But the good news is it's just a quick shot of Arctic air. Saturday morning's cold at 11, but we're into the upper 30s Saturday afternoon, and then into the mid-40s come Sunday.
Well, Jesus Christ Superstar is about to celebrate 50 years, if you can believe that. It's just one of the shows announced today for the 2020 and 2021 Broadway and Indianapolis series that began this fall. 5 big musicals are coming to Indy as part of that series, and Matthew Parter with Broadway and Indy is here to talk to us more about it. These shows just coming out, and you say people are pretty excited so far.
Yeah, people are really excited. Dear Evan Hansen, which is closing our season, is one of the most requested shows we've had since 2017.
Okay,
so
very
people
cool.
are really excited it's coming.
Run me down the 5 that are coming
Yeah,
here.
so we're opening in December with Mean Girls, and then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which would be a great family show for Indianapolis audiences. We also have Jesus Christ Superstar, the 50th anniversary tour, which is incredible.
Okay.
Pretty Woman the musical, another movie musical, but a different take.
Okay.
You know, it's a great show. And then Dear Evan Hansen closes out the season.
Okay, perfect. So what does it mean to the city, to people who are into the arts and just people that live here, to have these shows brought right here to our backyard?
Well, it's significant because it's very expensive to travel to New York, and a ticket alone, usually in New York, is
Really
$150,
expensive.
$200. So you can get a 5-show package for what the cost of one ticket would be in New York. So we bring these shows here as soon as we possibly can, and of course we listen to our audiences and what they want to see, like Dear Evan Hansen. But Hamilton was a really big growth factor for us because a lot of folks did subscribe, and those people saw shows that they may not have wanted to see otherwise because they did subscribe and they caught the bug because they see these great shows are coming here.
Yeah.
You know, just subscribe here.
Yeah, which is awesome, and it sounds like it's going to be popular again this year. Any chances of selling out? Are people needing to hurry and get on these tickets? Or
we don't worry about selling out because we have a lot of seats to fill throughout a full week performances. So.
Great, and they can start buying now or subscribing to the full series coming up.
Yes, the full five-show package now at Broadway and Indianapolis.com.
All right, well, we're looking forward to seeing those shows, maybe having some of the people here on the news at noon as they come in town.
I'll bring them.
Awesome. Well, Matthew, thanks again for being here with us, and we're excited for Broadway and Indianapolis. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Ted Rowlands today on Court TV. Jurors are hearing closing arguments in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial in New York. Weinstein is facing the possibility of life in prison if convicted. Donna Rotuno is delivering the summation for the defense. She's expected to attack the credibility of the 6 women who came into court recounting experiences of alleged sexual assault at the hands of Harvey Weinstein. We're also covering the Ice Cream Man murder trial in Tampa, Florida. Michael Keatley is accused of going on a revenge-fueled shooting spree that killed 2 and injured 4 others. One of the survivors, who's permanently disabled, detailed his injury on the stand Wednesday.
Were you shot in the head?
Yeah.
Do you have any memory of how that occurred?
No.
Do you have any memory of who did that?
No.
Are you working?
No.
Are you able to work? No?
No.
We'll have continuing coverage of both trials throughout the day on Court TV. Now back to you.
You can learn more about other court cases happening around the nation right now by visiting courttv.com. All right, Todd, we got to talk more about the forecast, and the concern is the falling temperatures.
Yeah, so we're done with the snow. You don't really have to worry about that any longer throughout the remainder of the day. And I know I've jumped ahead here with the time on this graphic that you see to 9 p.m. The temperatures are going to start falling pretty quickly here this afternoon and eventually this evening into the teens and single digits by tomorrow morning. But when you factor in the wind, what you see here is your wind chill values, and you notice from about midnight onward, we are going to see wind chill values that will be below 0. So it's going to be a frigid day tomorrow to start your Valentine's Day. Here are your actual temperatures, but again, those wind chills will be even colder. Eventually a high close to 20 tomorrow with sunshine. The good news is it's a short deal. Saturday into the 30s, Sunday up into the 40s, and for a change, it looks like the whole weekend will be dry.
All right, Todd, that is good news. So the message here, if you have any of that slush or anything on your driveway, move it out now.
Get it out before it turns to ice.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And thanks for joining us and making RTV6 your choice for news. We'll see you at 5 o'clock. Have a great day.